Part of the story I want to share is largely around Altron Karabina. I mean, where have we come from and where are we going to? If you just look at the last financial year that we've gone through right now, it was a difficult year. And I think in the South African economy in general, I think most businesses have faced challenges. Where we as Altron Karabina stand out in this last year is we've showed high levels of growth. And despite these high levels of growth, we've been in a position where we've actually created value in customers' lives and we've created a connection with our employees. And if we look through all our indicators across the board, whether it is revenue, revenue has grown by more than 50%. Our profitability has grown by more than 200%. Our employee engagement scores are up by 2 percentage points. Our NPS score, which is our customer satisfaction index, is up by 3 points. So if you look at the business as a whole, all the metrics that talk to sustainability are in place. So where has this growth come from? Why have all these indicators shifted the way that they have? Through the COVID pandemic, what has been created is an incredible opportunity for businesses to pivot. Now, in our traditional IT landscape, what used to happen is customers used to buy lots of kit, i.e. servers, and all sorts of things that used to sit directly on their premises. And through the COVID pandemic, what they found that creating accessibility to those solutions was quite difficult. And so it forced and drove a push to the cloud. And what we are in the middle of as our business, and we are largely Microsoft focused at an OEM level or at a partner level, is we are using the Azure technology to be able to drive that cloud transformation. And in the last year, we've seen customers come through and there's been unprecedented demand for moving lots of solutions into the cloud. So in the last financial year, apart from us making fundamental changes around how we are organized, we've really simplified our structure. We've put the core disciplines in place. We've put the right governance in place. And we've really, really bolstered our pre-sales and our sales teams to engage with customers in a meaningful way so that we could land what the value is about this transformation. Our discussions with customers are not about technology. It is about making a fundamental difference to their business, whether it is around their bottom line, not our bottom line, whether it is about driving employee engagement in their business, or whether it is them connecting directly to their customers a lot better and creating different channels for them to connect back to them as a service provider. That's been our job. Our job is to enable customers to really drive that as part of their businesses. And we've seen incredible demand from our customers through that in the last year. And that's translated into our business really focused and driving that additional growth that we've seen. So in the last financial year, bringing those new enterprise practices into our business has created an incredibly strong platform for growth in FY23. Now, what does this all mean? From a solution perspective, it means that our drive is shifting away from, let's call it the smaller middle tier kind of customers into largely enterprise customers. And why are we driving this growth? Why are we pushing towards the enterprise? It's because the solutions that we have talk directly to the business challenges that these customers have. And we're in a position to be able to make a meaningful impact in their business across the board. So our drive for FY23 as a business and the things that we focus on is first and foremost around managed services. It's largely about supporting complex customer environments in a predictable, sustainable way. So it's really about taking that pain away from customers around existing solutions. They have a fixed price around around that solution and ensuring that they have a predictable outcome. So what are some of the examples of this? At the largest bottling company in South Africa, they've implemented a very, very complex enterprise resource planning system. And our focus is about taking the complexity of that environment into a managed service that takes the pain away from them. We support their environment, we support their users. If they have a problem in their system, we're able to take over that, and we do it on a predictable basis so that they know exactly what they will be charged. They have an acceptable level of service that they engage with. And by the way, they have penalties that they can levy on us if we do not fulfill those obligations. But we are partnering with customers to ensure that the environments run smoothly. And these managed services also extend into database services support, as well as into around managing the Azure platform, etc. So a number of these platforms we've bundled into really, really interesting offerings that creates predictability and sustainability for customers around their IT services. Our second core focus is about working with customers around their software environment from a software asset management point of view. And we partner with customers to ensure that we drive their spend down. In a recent very large enterprise customer, we went in with the Microsoft software environment and understood their requirements, understood what their usage was. And we were able to drive a 15% reduction in their costs. So the third focus that we have within the business is largely about pulling our data practice together with our business applications practice. And it's largely about taking and making use of the existing data assets that exist in customer environments and then deriving value out of it. At a large bank, what we are doing there is taking existing data that they have within their procurement department, in their supplier databases, etc., to maximize their BEE scorecard. Not in an artificial way, but just to understand where their spend lies. We pull that data together and we're able to use the rules to be able to construct something that derives value directly for this bank. So bringing both worlds together of both from a data point of view and line of business applications is something that we're able to pull together and create value for customers. So also looking ahead into FY23, we want to take some of the incredible learnings that we've built and had in the last year and some of the real customer success stories that we've had and really translating that into incredible benefit for customers down the line. What are some of these examples? At a large manufacturing customer, they transitioned from quite an old system into a brand new ERP planning system, and everything from their manufacturing department to their warehousing to their supply chain and their online marketplace. We were able to implement that inside of a 9-month period with the customer on time, on budget, and on brief. Now here's the fantastic stat that came through that. In their first month of go live, they had their highest volume of throughput ever in that company's history in their first month that they went live with our solution. We were able to do that. How? By making use of the incredible technology that comes from Microsoft and at the same time coupling our capability of understanding business processes and coupling that with the customer's secret sauce, which is their differentiation in the marketplace, to come up with something that really creates value for them. I mean, as an example, this customer's got a very, very interesting proprietary way of doing promotions. So most loyalty programs that you are exposed to, it's after it's in the process that you have, I'm going to swipe now, I'm going to get a few points and I can use it. And then you get discounts based on your purchases as you go. This customer's come up with the idea of looking at entire volumes over a period of time, and then based on what you've spent, actually go and retrospectively apply discounting and promotions to everything that they have in the past. Now that creates some interesting complexity, first from a data point of view, but also at an accounting level. And we were able to work together with them. This is their differentiation, but build something incredible that we can take and use going forward as well. The second example is we engaged with a non-profit organization in the business application space, replaced their core ERP system, replaced their customer engagement system, and brought together these solutions for them to be a lot more effective. Now, this NPO is one of the largest in South Africa, and the bulk of their funding comes from the US. Now, that funding needs to be accounted for. There's a standard way of working, how you report back. It's quite complex and quite rigorous in the way that things are done. Now, there's no solution that exists out there that actually caters to this. We co-developed a piece of IP with this customer for NPOs, and we are going to jointly market that solution to other NPOs and NGOs in South Africa and across the world, because there's a standard way of reporting things. Now, ideally, with a customer, you don't end up in situations like this, and we pride ourselves in being a partner to customers to ensure, again, that they adopt largely vanilla solutions, but whatever their differentiation is, whatever their secret sauce is in their business, that we work together to deliver that so they can get competitive advantage out of it. So what FY22 taught me is that we have an incredibly talented, resilient organization. We have an organization that has got the right fundamentals and foundations in place. I've learned that we've got the most incredible offerings that is really making a difference in customers' lives. And taking all of those strengths, coupled with the incredible human capital that we have, I'm looking forward to FY23, taking those 3 core offerings that we have and really, really working with customers, partnering with customers to make a meaningful impact in their businesses, making them a lot more competitive and ensuring that their lives are improved as a result of our involvement in them.